No, you don't need to have perfect English in order to give an outstanding presentation. Let's break this belief and let me show you exactly what it takes to give your best presentation in English. By the way, stay until the end of the video because I will reveal one secret about giving the perfect presentation that has nothing to do with your English level. One common misconception I hear among my students is that you have to really put a lot of practice into your English before you can give a presentation in English. So what usually happens is students write a script and learn the text word for word and usually sound like robots or like they are reading from a book. The worst case scenario is if you get stuck or someone asks a question and interrupts you while you are presenting your perfect speech, chances are it will be really hard to go back to your text and eventually you'll miss important points and you will end the presentation without providing any value and clarity. Before I give you the steps to make the best presentation in English, you might want to subscribe to my channel if this content resonates with you so that I continue making more videos like this. One vital thing that many people skip is to research before you even start the presentation. Before you even start preparing the presentation, take some time to research your audience and understand their needs, their expectations, and their knowledge level. Please understand that this is a crucial step. If you skip it, you lack clarity and you overwhelm yourself once you start preparing the presentation. So start by identifying the age range, their gender, profession, educational background, and cultural background of your audience. This information will help you to tailor your presentation to their needs and interests. You also want to consider what questions they may have about the topic and what information they might be looking for. You should also consider the audience's knowledge level. The level of knowledge the audience has on the topic will absolutely influence the type of information you present and the level of detail that you provide. If the audience is knowledgeable, you can provide more technical details, while for a less knowledgeable audience, I would say it is best to provide more general overview. Now, once we have done the research, it's time to get down to business and start creating the presentation. You want to start with a strong opening. Begin your presentation with a strong opening that will capture the audience's attention and that will set the tone for the presentation. You can use phrases such as good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about. Let me start by sharing a story or an anecdote, a quote that illustrates the importance of our topic today. Next, you want to clearly state your objectives. Clearly state your presentation goals and objectives and what you hope to achieve. This will help the audience to understand the purpose of the presentation. You can use phrases such as, the purpose of my presentation is to. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to understand or learn about. Next, you want to use visuals to support your points. Using visual aids such as charts, graphs, or images to illustrate your points and keep the audience engaged is a must. I always like to combine visuals and a video to spark a conversation and keep the listeners engaged. Here, you can use phrases such as, let me show you a graph that illustrates the trend we're discussing. Here's a picture or video that illustrates my point. What did you think? Next, you want to speak clearly and at a moderate pace. This step is easier said than done because when we're nervous, we tend to speak very fast. The way you can overcome this is to practice your presentation multiple times at home. But hear me out, you want to record yourself to hear if you're going too fast. Again, avoid learning your entire presentation word for word, but try to freestyle it as much as you can. The more you research and the more knowledge you have about the subject, the easier this step will be. Here, you can use phrases such as, "I'd like to emphasize that," or "Let me repeat that for clarity." To be more specific, next, you want to use simple language. You want to use as simple language as possible because you want to make it easy for your audience to understand. One common misconception is that you need to have complex sentences in your speech in order to sound more sophisticated and knowledgeable. Well, this is simply not true. It will have the opposite effect, and usually people will stop listening. So you want to avoid technical jargon or complex words that might confuse the audience. Here, you can use phrases such as, "In simpler terms," "To put it simply," "Let me explain this in everyday language." Next, you want to engage with your audience. Another crucial step is to engage the audience by asking questions, asking for feedback, or conducting surveys. I recommend using this multiple times throughout your presentation so that it doesn't sound boring. After all, you don't want your audience to fall asleep or drift away while you present. Here, you can use phrases such as, "Can anyone tell me? What do you think about? Let's take a quick poll to see how many of you." Next, you want to use transitions to guide the audience. Now, using transitional phrases to guide the audience from one point to another will help them follow the flow of your presentation. Here, you can use phrases such as, "Moving on to the next point. Now, let's recap what we've covered so far." You want to summarize the key points. Before you finish, you want to summarize the key points of your presentation, highlighting the most important information for the audience to remember. Here you can use phrases such as, "In summary," "To sum up," "Let me explain the main points." Finally, you want to close with a strong conclusion. This is another crucial step. You want to close with a strong statement that leaves a lasting impression on the audience. Here you can use phrases such as, "In closing," "Finally, I'd like to leave you with this thought." In the end, thank the audience and invite questions. Finally, you want to thank the audience for their attention and invite some questions or some feedback. This will help to ensure that the audience has understood your presentation and provide an opportunity for further discussion. You can use phrases such as, "Thank you for your time and attention today. I welcome any questions or comments you may have. Please feel free to approach me afterwards if you have any further questions." Now, it may surprise you to hear that giving a perfect presentation in English is a lot more than just creating slides, practicing it at home, and having a perfect topic. The secret to giving the perfect presentation lies in storytelling. If you're able to deliver a good story throughout your presentation, it will not matter if you got stuck, if your English sucks, or if you don't have the perfect accent. So how do you include storytelling in each of your presentations in English? It's simple. You include emotions. You want to target the emotional state of your audience. You want to include as much real-life examples as possible and make them into stories. For example, you want to target a certain fear that your audience has and tell how you can solve this problem or how they can do it themselves by following your tips. Or you want to inspire them by sharing something they didn't know before. This will instantly improve the listening experience and will engage your audience. The best way to achieve this is making your presentation sound like a story instead of just presenting facts. Finally, the best presentations are ones where you share a personal story or a personal victory. This doesn't have to be something big, but as long as it speaks for you and as long as it relates to your audience, it will make the audience listen and remember you forever. What do you think? Do you have more clarity now on how to create outstanding presentations in English? Share your feedback with me in the comments. Finally, if you like this video, you might want to watch this one next, where I share things you should never say at work because you may sound rude in English. And if you've stayed until the end and still haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like because apparently it helps the algorithm to show my videos to more people. Until the next video, don't forget to stay zen and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!